ngayon, makakausap natin ng isa pang First Filipina that's gonna go play pro in Europe, particularly sa Serbia. She's gonna be playing sa koponan na tinatawag na Radnicki Kragujevac in Serbia. We have yes, nakasulat yan, Radnicki Kragujevac in the Serbia Pro League. We have, of course, UAP champion, SEA Games gold medalist, played in Taiwan, and now in Serbia we have Jack Animam. And of course, with her coach and trainer right now, Coach Dante Harlan. All right, so we have the first Filipina that's going to play pro in Europe, particularly in Serbia. Please forgive me. I hope I'm saying this right. The Radnicki Kragujevac pro team in Serbia. Jack Animam, congratulations, Jack. And of course, with her trainer in Cincinnati right now, Coach Dante Harlan. Jack and Coach Dante, congratulations. Virtual round of applause for you guys. And Jack, I just want to ask you first, what does it feel? How does it feel to be going to be playing pro?
Oh, of course, going pro in Serbia, which is, we all know, Europe is one of the best basketball country there is. Of course, I'm so happy and proud and honored that I'm, my first ever pro contract is going to be in Serbia. I'm just really, really happy.
And of course, Jack, you are no stranger to international play because you did win gold in the Southeast Asian Games in 2019. And when you look back at your journey, with how you started and how you've won gold for your country, and now you are, of course, the first Filipina to be representing our country again on an international stage, this time in Europe. In your wildest dreams, was this in your vision? Was this the path that you knew you were going to be on?
To be honest, never in my wildest dream.
Really?
Yeah, because, at first, I was reluctant to play basketball. And I didn't even know how to shoot or even how to run. I was like my school principal in my high school, he just asked me if I wanted to join our basketball girls team because they're lacking a player. And the coach saw me, and then they said that I have a potential and I'm tall. And I told him, oh, I'm just tall, but I don't have any potential. So he doesn't want to let me go until I said yes. So okay, I really want to go home. I just kind of say yes, so I just can go home. And I said, okay, why not give it a try? And then if I don't like it, I can stop. And then the next morning, I started to train with my team. And then I was like, oh my God, how can they shoot that ball, dribble that ball? They're so good at it. And I'm just tall there. I'm just running. I don't even know what to do. But then, I just kind of as the day goes by, I just kind of started to enjoy the game. Maybe it's because of my teammates, the fun, the memories, the friendship. It's really that. And I never imagined that I would really come this far. It just so happened. And then when I got into Manila, a lot of coaches, Coach Pat saw me, Coach Piao from Chiang Kai-shek, Coach Muriel from FEU. At the time, I was so young. I was 13 years old at the time. I was just really putting in my mind that, okay, I will use basketball to get a good education. That's what my mentality going. That's why I played basketball. And then, as the years passed by, I started to see myself from the day that I started to going to college. I kind of starting to improve, and people are telling me that you're way better now than the last time we saw you. And they were I was just really enjoying it, every single day of training, whatever my coach tells me to do, I will just follow it. And then, really, to be honest, never in my wildest dream.
And of course, congratulations. Never in Filipinos' wildest dreams, when you would go a traditional route, right? The traditional route is, men will play in the PBA, women have no outlet. But now, again, for the first pro league, we have the WNBL. We have Jack Animam that's going to play pro in Europe. Coach Dante, I want to ask, what was Jack like when you first saw her as a player?
Well, she walked in and she had a big smile on her face. So, you know, I was like, okay, she's not so intimidating because she is taller than me. But I am stronger than her. And she found that out. I pushed her around a little bit, and I don't I'm used to that. And I told her it was okay for her to hit me back or be physical with me. But she was just excited to be here and to get on that court. She really does embrace the moments. And, we've done a lot of interviews here lately. And, you can just see her joy and you can see her humbleness and just, how appreciative she is to be able to just play basketball. And she was like that every workout, and she was always very thankful after each workout. And, my thing was I wanted to keep driving her because I had her attention. So I really wanted to keep just pouring into her as much as I could. And that was the sign of what was to come for her. Because she just is like, most of your athletes come, when I train the boys, I can push them to only so far and then they're like tired and then I have to give them this talk, right? I never had to give her that talk. She understood that this was an opportunity to become great and to really expand her game. And, I just love her approach to it, day in and day out. And even just, I feel like a proud papa when I hear her speak. And then when I see that joy still come out, almost like she was still that 13-year-old girl, So, and she, as long as she keeps that attitude, she's going to continue to thrive and grow and become great.
Coach Dante, Jack was quoted in an interview saying, "One thing I've noticed is that big girls like me here are post players, but out there we don't just do post moves. We also bring down the ball and other roles." And she thought that, what if we teach them that in the Philippines? For instance, I'm tall, but I can play point guard. For me, that's one thing we could improve on. Go outside the box to really reach the full potential of a player. So this is Jack being exposed to different ways of thinking about the game when she's on the court, the way that she plays, her role on the court as well. And I know that you have a huge influence on her because, as you said earlier, you try to push her and she's always eager to learn. What are the other ways that you see Jack thinking outside of the box since you started training her?
It was interesting because I watched her warm up a little bit and she did the typical post moves, right? Back to the basket, drop step, layup. And I was like, Jack, it doesn't work like that anymore. You're easy to double because she's going to face taller, players and more athletic players. And, we really tried to change up where she posts up at. Meaning from the mid post to where, the one thing I noticed about Jack was her first step was pretty explosive. So we tried to utilize that and put her in a position on the court to catch the ball and turn and face up against her defender. And really it's about everything's angles. And so she learned how to turn both, we don't just work on, I'm only going to turn on my right foot or turn on my left foot. We worked on, okay, now that you got the left foot down, we're going to work on the right foot. So we always talk about basketball, don't complicate the game. It is what it is. It's me versus you when I catch the ball. If they're giving you an angle, take the angle. Don't try to focus on, well, I did this in training, so I'm going to work on this move. No, we're looking for a drive line. And, I really got a chance to watch Jack every day improve with that. And it was kind of funny to see because when she trained with other girls, other young ladies, she would watch them, and I could see her in the line kind of working on the footwork on her own before it was her turn to come back up. But then she took everything we've done and she went down to the AEBL, and she got to utilize her game down there. And I truly feel like if Jack hadn't have been working on all those things, she wouldn't have had as much success down there, because if she would have played the way she had always played, those young ladies are used to playing against players like her. And she saw, basketball is positionless. If you have someone that is really good at doing this or doing that, put them there and let them impact your team. And Jack's attitude is she's realized that, I can be effective here. I can be effective there. And if you watch her today, that's what you're going to see more of, even in Serbia.
Can't wait to watch Jack and her new moves, new skills, right? And can't wait to show that off, Jack. With your games and highlights, Jack, I just wanna ask first about the reactions and comments. You can say it in Filipino, if you may. Like, of course, with your parents, with Coach Pat, with your best friends, when you seal the deal that you're gonna play in Serbia. What was that like, Jack?
Oh my God, my social media were blowing up. Like really went after that announcement. And then of course I already told my family prior to that, and they can't believe that. They're just so happy, especially my mom and my sister. Like, yeah, for the first time ever I'm going to Serbia. And then I got a contract, my first ever pro contract. They're just so happy. And then yeah, Coach Pat, we're so happy also because it's first time. And then I know that it's one of his dreams, seeing his player going international and bannering the Philippines. And then with my friends and everyone, they were like, "Oh my God, this is so huge! Congratulations!" Blah 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 and everything. They were just so really happy, and it was just it was like, oh, okay. It was really crazy. My Instagram were like full of messages.
Thank you, Jack, for answering our message. Our message, just a brief chat, of course. Thank you to East
Yes.
West. Thank you to East
Thank
West
you.
Private. Big shout out to East West Private, Miss Patty Scott, for granting us this interview. Thank you so much.
Yes, we really
Yes.
appreciate you guys taking the time. But also, Jack, I have to ask, um, in Philippine basketball, in women's basketball in the Philippines, of course, April Bernardino,
Mhm.
wow,
Yeah.
legend in her own right. When have you spoken to her? Have you
Yes,
heard from her?
like every day Ate Afril and I are talking, and you know what? She's one of my idols ever since like I started in NU. She's really the one person I really look up to. Skills, anything. She's all around. Her attitude, I really respect her because like, oh my God. And I told myself I want to be like her. Like when we play, like in practice we play one on one. I'm a big man, she's a point guard. And then okay, like I will raise my hand. I want to defend her. Like I want to challenge myself. Yeah, like if like when I block her, I was really happy because after Bernardino, I mean, she's so fast, she's so good. Like really, I was so happy. Like I was jumping because finally I blocked April because oh my God, she's like really my idol. And then we talk every day. And then when the news came out, she said, she messaged me on Facebook. She said, congrats, Jackie. I'm so proud of you. I'm always here for you. Oh, like I miss her so much.
Yes,
Galing.
April is amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, the friendship, stays on. And just for context for our viewers, Jack is the first Filipina to play in Europe, while
Mhm.
Afril is the first Filipina to play in Asia, at least, or in Malaysia. One of the best women point guards in the
Mhm.
Philippines. Coach Dante, when we talk about international stage, and when we talk of Serbia, of course, for Filipino viewers and fans, we're only just really mainly familiar with the NBA, some EuroLeague, and maybe some, FIBA basket, etc. But local leagues in Europe, like in Serbia, what's it like in the international stage?
Well, Serbia, it's cold, Jack.
Yeah.
You better dress appropriately. It's actually, where Jack is going. There's a lot of great players that have come through there. That they play in the WNBA and then they go play internationally. Um, you know, I'm excited to see. We all have a lot of faith and confidence in her ability, and it's going to be fun to watch her go up against some of the best players. It's going to challenge her, and that's what you want to do if you want to be considered one of the best. You want to go against other great players, and in every game she's going to have to prove herself. She's carrying a lot of weight on her shoulders. She's very prideful when she speaks about her country and her purpose. And so that's going to be special to watch. And she's going to have ups and downs at first, but she adjusts. She just becomes more determined. I know at the end of the day she's going to be very successful, just because of her drive and, again, her purpose. She realizes that, and she knows a lot of people are looking up to her, but she knows she's surrounded herself with people who believe in her and care about her and love her. And, so it's going to be tough, but she's going to rise to the occasion because she always walks on that court looking for competition. So, but I think one thing I would like to say, Jack, you left something out in terms of the AEBL. Would you like to share what award you won?
Oh, I got an award. I got an award in AEBL. It's called the Rising Star Award. Yeah, they gave it to me.
So explain who gave you
Congratulations.
that award and how you won that award. Who's behind the award?
The the story behind the award, they give it to like a player with my age who they think that impacted the league and impacted the team, and they chose me to receive that award.
Yeah,
Thanks to Miss Portia and to the AEPL organization.
yeah, yeah. It's a huge award, and it was fitting, because again, she had to adjust down there. I mean, her first game, I remember, I was like, okay, Jack, how'd it go? And she told me her stats, and I was like, and like I kept waiting for, okay, more. Yeah, is that all you did? And she tried to kind of make it like she did more, but the stats don't lie. And I was like, okay, good job there, Jack. And the next week, I'm like, okay, how'd you do, Jack? What were your stats? How many rebounds did you have? How many blocks? I mean, how many? I always talked about points last, but each game got better and better. And it's going to be the same in Serbia. She's going to adjust. And then the one game she comes, then you have like almost a triple double. And
Yeah, I think. Mhm.
yeah. And I was like, okay, that's Jack, So that's a huge accomplishment for someone who she didn't know anyone. She got thrown into a situation and an environment, but she just wanted to go ball and she wanted to be pushed and learn. And look what happened at the end. It's kind of been your path, the success at each level. And we're expecting the same thing in Serbia.
Speaking of That's Jack. Jack, I had the honor of interviewing you after you guys won gold at the 2019 SEA Games. Even back then, you were so overwhelmed. You were still overflowing with joy. And to this day, that character, that exact same joy, still shines through on screen. And that just says so much about how much you love what you do, how much you love the opportunities that are coming your way. The way Coach Dante talks about you when you walk into practice or walk into games. There's where did this come from? Because hindi siya nawawala. It doesn't go away. It hasn't gone away.
Hindi ko hindi ko din, I just, playing basketball, to be able to play basketball every day is an opportunity na I don't want to take it for granted because you'll never know kailan matatapos. You'll never know until, alam mo yon, just seize the day, enjoy each moment. And basketball really like my outlet to show what kind of person I am, not just being basketball player, but also as a person in general. And I just really love what I'm doing. And by just simply being me, I got to inspire other people, especially the young kids. It it makes me soft when I every time I receive a message and then they were like, "Hi ate, you're my idol. Napanood kita. I wanna be like you someday. I wanna play with you." And then I will try to look at their profile. And then I was shocked because like, oh my God, bata pa siya. Like, I mean, imagine those young kids. If we have the right program, the grassroots, you know, I think there we will have like a lot of talented women's basketball players.
Right. I just would like to add a comment, Cesca, Coach Dante, and Jack, into our viewers. So, what reminds me of Jack when she mentioned a while ago? She mentioned a while ago that when she was a kid, I have no potential, coach. It's
Mhm.
okay. I'm just tall. I'm not good. That reminds me actually of Eliza Valdez. When Eliza Valdez was just starting out in volleyball, she didn't think that she was good, and even up to this day, she doesn't think that she's good, right? And but what willed them was their passion, their drive to succeed and drive to work hard. And they also have that same aura, smiling aura,
Right.
happy,
Always
positive
very
vibes,
joyful.
very joyful, and just really rubs off into their success right now. I have to compare that little bit tidbit about Eliza and to Jack. And congratulations to you, Jack. And I hope more positivity will just really come out of athletes and players, especially during these times. Just have to comment that actually. But to my next question, Jack, and to what Coach Dante was saying a while ago, because you mentioned Cesca, 2019 Sea Games,
Mhm.
and then 2020 happened, COVID happened, and then the next thing you know, Jack was on your way to Taiwan in 2020, and then you went to the States, played in the AEBL just around 2 years, and now you're on your way to Serbia. And then Coach Shante was telling us that you were, really doing well with flying colors. What do you think, Jack, was the main thing that you had all along, that you were able to adjust in these situations right away, in Taiwan, in AEBL, now going to Serbia?
It's how you embrace the adversity. Kasi, nothing's permanent. Everything in a snap of a finger, everything can change. Like, March 2020, everything was fine, and then you wake up the next day, there's COVID worldwide, and everything put on a hold. You just gotta have to stay strong, not just physically, but crucial is mentally. Like how you will handle that day by day. I mean, it was so hard, being at home, doing nothing, can't even play basketball. 7 months of staying indoors, it's just so hard. It really messes you up mentally. But, you know, um, thinking of positive things, planning and being by the having that kind of support group is really, really crucial, especially as an athlete. And yeah, it's a matter of how you embrace adversity, how are you gonna react on the change, and how you will adapt and arise from it.
Coach Dante was nodding his head while Jack was talking. I have to ask, when it comes to, I mean, we know that Jack, as you mentioned, when you train her, when she comes to practice, she has the heart, she has the will to learn, she has that drive. Again, she has that joy. But when she mentioned that mental aspect of it all, how are you helping Jack develop that part of her game?
I mean, honestly, I'm not. There's a lot of athletes. I just I use that to keep challenging her. Um, I don't ever have to pick her up. when she doesn't succeed. She does this little screech when she can't do something. And, and I'm like, okay, that's her drive. And it's so different than from the boys. I give more talks to the boys and Jack can speak to this. I truly believe, girls are more mentally tough than guys. Guys, we're always looking to do things that we're good at. We stay away or shy away from the things we're not. Jack's the opposite, so I actually, you either have that or you don't. But what I've done with her having that is that I'm like, I'm going to keep pushing her and because I want to hear that screech more. Like, I want to keep challenging her to where she has to succeed. So it's kind of like a give and take. Each athlete that you work with is a little bit different. And sometimes you have to sit back and see what makes that, what does it take to get the most out of that athlete? So I utilize her own strengths against her. And I told you my secret now, Jack. But, that's just something she has. And you see her joy, right? You see her passion, that's why I'm so blessed to be a part of her journey, because, those are the type of athletes you want to work with. And, and she's even talking about giving back to, the little girls that look up to her. I'm going to say this right now, and you have it on the air. Jack, you and I need to go back to the Philippines, and we need to do a camp for young ladies.
Yes.
And, I want to do that so bad. I mean, I'm very passionate about women being given the opportunity. And it starts with those little girls that has a role model. And Jack is the ultimate. When they see that, they meet her face to face and they see her joy and her passion. And I want them to watch her and I go through a workout in front of them so they can see it is going to be tough, but you can enjoy it. And there's a benefit to being challenged and pushed. There's a reward at the end of that. So I want us to go back as soon as this COVID stuff is, and I want to put on a camp for these little ladies that look up to Jack and show them, hey, you can, instead of hearing that you can't.
Thank you so much, Coach Dante. And Migs and I will be right there cheering you guys on.
Wow, I'm speechless.
Yeah,
And,
that's amazing.
That passion goes, from all borders. Currently, right now, Jack and Coach Dante are in Cincinnati, Ohio, and just that passion, that fuel to be able to help young Filipina kids to be able to pursue their passion, just like what Jack is doing. As we wrap this up, once again, thank you. We'd like to thank Jack and the Coach Dante and East West Private for granting this interview and taking time with us right here on Off the Record. Coach Dante, I will put you on the spot for Jack. What will be your first expectations for the first few games for Jack in Serbia?
To do what she's always done well. Defend, rebound the ball, be a great teammate. That's really all you can ask for anyone going into. I'm not going to put any, expectations on scoring the ball, because I'm sure there's a system that she's going to need to learn and adjust to. But the things that Jack has always do well, there are certain things that you can control, and you can make great passes. You can set great screens. You can defend. You can rebound the ball. So those are things you don't have to be athletic. Those are things that takes from here, being determined to do it. And if she doesn't come away with more than double digits and rebounds, then we're going to have a problem. If she allows her man to score easily on her, we're going to have a problem. If she doesn't set, she needs to impose her will of being physical and playing with energy and effort and uplifting her teammates to meet that same level of intensity. So if we don't do that, Jack and I have a nice phone call afterwards.
You don't want that, Jack.
Jack already has her homework. She knows what she has to do.
All right, Jack, maybe you can share your message to the Filipinas, to everybody watching right now.
To all people who's watching this right now, to my fellow athletes, to my fellow Filipino ballers, to the young girls, huwag kayong magsasawang ipagpatuloy kung ano man ang pangarap nyo, whether it's playing basketball or in life. Just keep doing it, keep putting the work, keep the faith, and trust the process. You'll get somewhere soon.
Yep.
Wow, there you have it. There
Thank
you have
you
it.
so much, Jack.
Thank you so much. Yeah, go ahead, Jack.
It's honestly, I just have to say this. One of the best parts of our job, Migs, is being able to interview people who just love what they do. So, Jack, thank you for making this interview amazing. Coach Dante, thank you for also having the kind of heart that we love, for your generous offer of conducting a camp in the Philippines as soon as the pandemic is over. We cannot wait to see that. And hopefully, Migs and I will be able to interview you guys once again when that happens as well.
Lastly, Coach Dante and Jack, want to give shout outs
Yes.
to anybody? Coach Dante, want to give a shout out?
You know what? I echo what Jack said. You know, to all the little ballers out there, and you know, I do what I do for them. You know, because basketball, I know what it meant to me growing up in Detroit, and it helped me cope with a lot of things in life that I was facing. And you know, failure or adversity is just an obstacle to lead you to success. And so Jack couldn't have said it better. So my shout out is to all people. Don't be afraid to dream. Go get it, and it'll happen. So yeah, and shout out to you guys for doing what you guys do. We definitely appreciate being able to be on this show with you guys. It's been fun.
Thank you, Coach
Thank
Dante.
you.
Thank you. Jack, shout outs?
Shout out ko lang sa mga teammates ko from NU and to RP na going into the bubble in the next few weeks. Shout out to them and shout out to my family. I miss you so much. To my bosses in NU and RP. Shout out, boss. Miss ko na kayo, boss Mike Lim. Coach Pat, I love you. I miss you. Thank you.
All right. So there you have it. Once again, Jack Animam going to play for Serbia pro team Radnicki Kragujevac. Jack Animam, Coach Dante Harlan, thank you so much for joining us here on Off the Record. Stay safe, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.